Hi, Todd Warren here in the Forecast Center with a look at our weather week ahead here on ArkleTexHomepage.com as well as the ArkleTexHomepage.com app. And looking at the weather pattern, you can see the large area of upper level high pressure which is now spinning its wheels here across the southwestern sections of Texas. This is what's driving the disturbance off to our east, which is now over the panhandle of Florida into the Gulf of Mexico, and this is eventually going to likely develop a tropical depression that I'll talk about here in a second, which will move a bit towards the west. How much to the west remains in question. We'll talk about those possibilities here. Actually, right now, you can see the latest outlook from the National Hurricane Center shows the likelihood, high chance that this will form into a depression during the course of the next day or two, and it is still forecast to make its way in a westerly direction. Now, as far as the latest on the tropical models, you can see the trend overnight has been slower and further east. And you can see the turn, which is expected now to occur. Instead of Texas, like was indicated yesterday, it looks like we could see more of the models indicating a possible landfall further to the east in Louisiana, taking the storm to the east of the Arcletex. That would mean that we would stay on the so-called drier side of the storm circulation, meaning that we wouldn't get quite as much rain as it makes its way across the lower Mississippi Valley. In the meantime, if this were to happen, this is what we could be looking at as far as rainfall potential here. You can see this one particular model shows amounts less than an inch over most of the area, with 1 to 2 inches possible across the eastern edge of the area. But keep in mind that is given that projected path through the southeastern half of Louisiana. That being said, if it does take more of a westerly course, all of this, again, the yellows indicate 2 inches, the reds are anywhere from 5 to 8 inches. That could slide to the west if it were to take more of a westerly course. That being said, let's show you the outlook from Futurecast. You can see that it is projecting more of a westerly course, hugging the coast of Louisiana, and then moving very close to Sabine Pass, perhaps Beaumont, Texas, by Saturday afternoon. Now, I do expect that this will also drift more towards the east in later runs, but nonetheless, just to make that point, that just because the models are now saying that this storm will move further to the east, still have a possibility that it could move into Texas, which would obviously be a much more wet scenario for the Arcletex here, moving through the weekend and first part of next week. So the moral of the story is we will have to keep a close eye on the system, which could eventually become Tropical Storm Barry here the next 3 or 4 days as it moves across the northern sections of the Gulf of Mexico. In the meantime, heat will be our big story here for the next several days, as tonight looking at lows once again in the mid-70s, 77 in Shreveport, which by the way was the low this morning, 76 degrees, which by the way was the low this morning in Texarkana. Combine this warmth in the morning with the heat in the afternoon, and you can see that we will see daytime highs tomorrow back up into the mid-90s. Heat index values once again expected to climb in that 105 to 110 degree range. As a result, we have the continuation of that heat advisory through at least Wednesday. Don't be surprised if this goes on into Thursday. I wouldn't be shocked to see it in Friday as well, as I do at this point still have projected highs in the low to middle 90s across much of the Arcletex for Friday as well. So the point is, until we see the rain increase dramatically, we will continue to see daytime highs soar into the low to middle 90s across the region with the continuation of the high humidity. Let's give you a look at Robin's chart of Futurecast. You can see that moving forward to any of the spotty showers which try to develop this afternoon, there won't be many of them, will quickly fall apart this evening as we will see a clear to partly cloudy sky tonight. Tomorrow, a bit more of those pop-up showers and thunderstorms expected in the afternoon. As a result, maybe a 20% shot that you may get that brief downpour in your neighborhood. Going through tomorrow night, we'll see that activity wrap up, perhaps a little wave possible indicated there with Futurecast overnight tomorrow night. And then Thursday, a little bit more coverage once again of those scattered showers and thunderstorms. Right now, Futurecast has the main impact over the southeast half of the area. Other models do show a little bit more rain further to the north and west. So we'll put your rainfall chances tomorrow at 20%, right around 30% for Thursday, and we likely will see that chance diminish once again for Friday in that 20% range over much of the Arcletex, as most models indicate as of right now. And then as that tropical system gets a little bit closer to the coast of Louisiana, obviously the chance of rain will increase heading into the weekend. That being said, here's your 7-day forecast, and it does show, again, relatively low rainfall chances probably through Friday, and we'll start to see that chance go up Saturday, highest Sunday, Monday, especially over the eastern half of the Arcletex. And then as that system, that tropical system moves away, we will see back to normal conditions with the spotty shower thunderstorm and highs back into the low to middle 90s by Tuesday. Again, all of this depends. There's a great probability that we'll see some adjustments to this 7-day forecast. Cannot emphasize enough that we'll have to keep a close eye on this tropical system, because if it does move further to the west, we could be looking at anywhere from 3 to 6 inches here in the Arklatex. As of right now, it looks like amounts will be much lighter, but we will have to keep an eye on where that system does go. In Texarkana, you can see in the week ahead, again, heat advisory continues for you with highs tomorrow and Thursday in the mid-90s, low 90s through Saturday, upper 80s for Sunday, Monday, and then back to the low 90s for Tuesday. So all in all, looks like a little bit of an increase in our rainfall chances for the next couple of days. We'll see the continuation of the heat and humidity. Be extra careful if you're exposed to the heat. Be sure to drink plenty of water before you go outside. Take those breaks if you feel the effects of the heat. And not much relief, actually, unless we see a bit more in terms of clouds, which is expected to happen by the time we close the weekend.